It's good to see you again in VNA News. I'm Vịnh Hằng from Hanoi with the major stories. Minister of Public Security General Trần Đại Quang meets foreign officials in Beijing. Đồng Nai's foreign direct investment attraction goes beyond expectations. Travel operators laud Vietnam's visa exemptions for tourists from 6 European countries. On the sidelines of the ASEAN-China Ministerial Dialogue on Law Enforcement and Security Cooperation, Minister of Public Security General Trần Đại Quang had separate meetings with foreign officials. Our correspondent reported from Beijing.
At the meeting with head of the Commission for Political and Legal Affairs of the Communist Party of China, Meng Jianzhu, the host stressed that China always attaches importance to developing cooperative and friendly relations with Vietnam. Meanwhile, Minister Trần Đại Quang said the upcoming visit to Vietnam by Chinese Party General Secretary and State President Xi Jinping will mark a milestone in the bilateral relationship. During the talks with Chinese Minister of Public Security Gu Xiangkun, the two sides agreed to continue implementing common perceptions reached by senior leaders of the two countries. They agreed to step up cooperation in law enforcement and in the fight against organized and transnational crime, terrorism, computer-related crime, and human trafficking. The ministers also pledged to continue conducting crackdowns on criminals along the shared border and intensify measures to ensure security and safety for Vietnamese and Chinese citizens visiting, working, and living in the resident country. With the framework of the dialogue, Minister Trần Đại Quang also had bilateral meetings with Russian Minister of Internal Affairs Vladimir Gologontsev and Singaporean Senior Minister of State Desmond Lee.
A wide range of farm produce are being displayed at the Agriculture Festival 2015, which opened in Ho Chi Minh City on October 23rd. Let's take a look. Co-organized by the Vietnam Farmers Association Central Committee and the Ho Chi Minh City's People's Committee, the festival features some 600 booths of 250 organizations and businesses across the nation. The festival is a chance for participating localities to show off their achievements in agriculture production, especially high-tech farming and organic products. It also serves as a forum for them to seek partners in production, processing, distribution, and investment. The event is expected to encourage farmers to pursue sustainable production with high productivity and quality and ensure food hygiene. Foreign direct investment inflows into Đồng Nai province, one of the industrial hubs in southern Vietnam, hit $2.15 billion as by mid-October, exceeding expectations and the province target of $900 million set for this year. More details come up next.
In October alone, Đồng Nai's industrial zones lured over $350 million in FDI, poured into 11 new projects and 5 existing ones. 31 industrial zones in the province have attracted 82 new FDI projects with a total registered capital of over $1.5 billion so far this year. Meanwhile, 75 FDI companies have added more than $592 million to their existing projects. Most of the FDI inflows this year went to production, processing, manufacturing, and high-tech projects. Located in the southern key economic region, Đồng Nai province considers FDI as a big growth driver, but does not want to attract it at all costs. Evidently, the province has publicized a list of industries prioritized for FDI attraction, including high-tech processing and manufacturing projects. It also announced another list of industries that temporarily do not need investments, such as paper and paper pulp production.
Some commercial banks have increased interest rates on Vietnamese đồng deposits between 0.2% and 0.4% per year, making it the fourth rise since August this year.
With the fourth rise, the Vietnam Đồng deposit interest rate offered by commercial banks has increased by nearly 1% since August this year. Commercial banks expected that the rise would help them attract more deposits, especially medium and long-term deposits, to balance the capital source amid medium and long-term lending demands. Banking experts said that the Đồng deposit rate hike could help capital sources of commercial banks stabilize, as depositors would not withdraw their deposits and turn to other investment channels such as gold, securities, and real estate, which currently remain relatively risky. Nguyễn Hoàng Minh, Deputy Director of the State Bank of Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City branch, said that keeping the Đồng now had more advantages than other investment channels thanks to the low inflation, rising Vietnam Đồng deposit interest rates, and low US dollar deposit rates, while the central bank pledged to keep the exchange rate steady this year and even in the first few months next year. Minh said total capital mobilization of Ho Chi Minh City-based commercial banks by the end of September was estimated with a rise of 11% against the same period last year. The central bank's statistics also showed that capital mobilization of the entire banking system by the end of September also increased roughly by 9% year-on-year.
Within the framework of the International Trade Show for Asian Travel Market in Singapore, the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism held a press briefing to introduce the latest tourism intensives, including visa exemptions for tourists from 6 European nations. Most of travel operators attending the press conference held Vietnam's 15-day visa exemptions for tourists from Italy, Spain, the UK, France, Germany, and Belarus. Business and Marketing Director of Buffalo Tours, Sarah Griffin, said it is good news for the expatriate community living in Southeast Asia and hopes that the Americans would benefit from the policy soon.
We're very excited about the visa-free exemption. We're trying to really grow our Asian outbound market here in Vietnam. So for the expats based around Asia, this is very exciting and it makes it a lot more accessible.
Deputy Director of the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism, Ngô Hoài Trung, said tourist arrivals in Vietnam rebounded in the third quarter following the visa waivers. In the first half of the year, the number of foreign tourists to the country decreased 12% compared to last year. But in the third quarter, the number of foreign arrivals increased. In September alone, international visitors to the country reached 626,000, an 8.3% increase over last year. From now until the end of this year, Vietnam will try its best to promote its tourism marketing campaign and hold tourism fairs abroad to welcome at least 7.8 million foreign holiday makers, the same number of tourists as last year. The Embassy of Israel in Vietnam has opened a photo exhibition entitled Writing with Light by Ziv Koren, one of the most highly regarded photographers of Israel. Join us to enjoy the photos. 50 black and white photos portray the existence of light in various forms: the sun, fog, darkness, streetlights, and dark alleys. The images feature the photographer's perspective of humanitarian subjects and conflicts. The exhibition, Writing with Light, which shares the same title as his 14th book, also focuses on the importance of light as the primary raw material in photography. Ziv Koren is a well-known photographer of Israel. During the past 20 years of his career, he has been presented with many prestigious prizes, including the Jan Greffroy Award, the Photo District News Award, and the International Color Award. The exhibition is being housed at Exhibition House, 45 Trang Dien Street, from October 23rd to November 1st. An Albanian translation of the late President Ho Chi Minh's poems, Prison Diary, by poet Cheke Marinas, has made its debut to the public at the Vietnam Writers Association headquarters in Hanoi. Our reporter will have the full story.
Gajik Marinash is a poet of Albanian origin with a doctorate in philosophy and currently living and working in the US. During this short trip to Hanoi, Marinash felt the special love that the Vietnamese people and artists reserved for the late President Ho Chi Minh. Inspired by this feeling, he decided to translate the leader's famous prison diary into his native language. The poet expressed his hope to become a bridge connecting the Vietnamese literature and culture with Albanian language-speaking people around the world.
If they try to read and understand Ho Chi Minh as a person who loved peace, who loved the world, who loved the whole humanity, to be the best they can be, to be a place which harmony and love for each other is possible, and it can be reached through literature, through culture, through communications, more than through politics.
Within only 6 months, Marinash accomplished the translation of all 133 poems in the prison diary. The poet revealed that he faced various difficulties not only in linguistic matter, but also in the way to convey the late president's ideas.
I had to understand his poetic lines. I had to understand his metaphors. I had to understand why is he so concrete, and I had to understand what that being concrete means. Translating Ho Chi Minh not only as literature, but translating his soul, his thoughts, translating the lines and the words which they are not in the poem.
A total of 5,000 copies of the Albanian version of the prison diary are being printed and published in countries which have Albanian communities such as Serbia, Greece, and Montenegro. Marinash also shared his plan to translate the book into English in the time to come.
Besides the dramatic beauty of the landscape, visitors to the northwest region of Vietnam easily fall for the Hmong ethnic women's silver earrings. The daily beauty is imbued with the group's cultural characteristics.
According to the Hmong people, earrings are not simply beautiful jewelry. Deep behind it is the cultural values reflecting the customs and characteristics of the group. Simple or complicated, the earrings are made of silver and curved in rounded shapes to symbolize the moon and sun, the gods of power of the Hmong.
I have worn earrings since my childhood. Long ago, Hmong girls wore the most beautiful clothes and earrings when spring came, hoping they could catch the boys' eyes.
Beyond their beauty, the earrings also manifest the wealth of the owners. It is believed that the bigger earrings the women wear, the stronger, healthier, and more hardworking they are. Sometimes they are used as symbolic weapon to protect the owners from evil spirits and poisonous winds.
There are many kinds of earrings, depending on individuals' taste. We choose our most favorite ones. Some even wear 2 pairs of earrings. We start wearing earrings at 14 to 15 years old and do not take them off even when working in the field, weaving, or going to the market.
There are 5 major earring shapes: the question mark, spiral, crescent, carved circle, and encrusted circle. On the surface of the earrings are carved tiny flowers and sophisticated symmetric patterns, and sometimes just several random lines. The handmade patterns convey the emotional world of ethnic women, reflecting their dreams, joy, and sorrow in their daily lives. The sparkling and clanking silver jewelry manifests the meticulousness, skillfulness, and rich spiritual culture of the Hmong people, which is closely connected to surrounding nature.
And that has wrapped up our daily bulletin. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye for now.